Hey, Picker. I'm going to tie up some 1917 Palmer hoppers. I don't know if you know what that is or not, but here, if I can hold up where you can see the whole thing. But here's what it looks like. This is a pattern. The patent was applied for in 1917. He actually made it before that. So it's a really, really old hopper pattern. Hey, Hunter. How you doing, buddy? I don't know if you saw it or not. I don't it's a pattern that's not very well known. But when I was saying I was going to tie up some 1917 Palmer hoppers, this is what the fly is. It's a very unusual pattern, but I like it because let me find something to point with. Maybe this old bobbin here. But the way the legs are tied, it uses uh, a feather rachis here, and you trim the fibers off along the feather, and then it uses one rachis to make this hopper leg and the antenna. So it's kind of neat. I like it. I think it's a pretty cool pattern. Hey, Jody. Monster. This is a new pattern to me, relatively. I just found it maybe, I don't know, about 3 months ago, probably. And I have tied up some, but I haven't thrown it in the water yet. But I want to tie up a couple of them, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to fish them here pretty soon. I've had a lot going on lately. I haven't been able to fish. I haven't been able to get my videos edited or none of that stuff. But I am going to try to go fish a wild rainbow stream here pretty soon and try to catch some fish on it. So here's a body that I made up while Jody was live. And it's kind of a banana shape, but then it turns up just a little bit at the head. And the front of it is kind of rounded just a little. There's your hook groove in the bottom. And then on the back, it's got just a little taper down both sides. And that's where these feathers will lay for the wings. Like that. Although this is one of the first ones I tied. It's not very good. I tried some different feathers on it that I didn't like. And there is no pattern on this that I can find. I've got pictures of old flies, but I don't really have any patterns. Hi, Amelia. Did I miss anybody else? No, I don't think so. Welcome in. But I can't find any kind of actual pattern information on what this fly was tied with, other than the body was cork, which I'm actually going to use balsa because I have more balsa stock and it's easier to get and cheaper. But the body was cork, and other than that, it doesn't really tell much. I actually have the patent, but it doesn't say what the feathers are and all that. But just from looking at the pictures and stuff, it looks to me like it's starling wings. And that's what not the one that I showed there, but I may have put it, I probably put it in my fly box, but I've got some other ones that I tied that are better looking. And the starling is what I used for that. And they turned out pretty good, so. Monster, yeah. I got that Lyme disease a while back, and now I've got a tooth infection, and I'm trying to build a roof on my porch out front, so it's just been hectic. My brother, we have a small business together. He went on vacation, and So that was just more work at work, and it's just been a mess lately. But I've got my hook here. This is a number 8. It's actually, I looked for a dry fly hook, and I'm out. I think I used them all at Project Healing Waters at Thornwood, because I taught a bunch of cicadas for the guys there, and I think I used all my hooks up. But so this is actually a streamer hook. It's a little heavier than what I want, but I think this will float it. And actually, I'm going to show you something before I tie this. I know you guys have seen it in a short that I posted, but it's kind of in the way here. I had it laying out drying where I fished it. But my new bamboo that I had built a while back, I've got it sitting here in the way drying, so I'm going to put it up. But I'll show it to you real quick first. Here's the real seat on it. It's rosewood, so it's got kind of a pink and red hue to it. There's the reel seat. And here is the thread wraps. This is a nodeless rod, so you won't see any of the bamboo nodes in it. And the guy who makes these, he makes the guides from scratch and everything. Like, you know, he just buys rolls of wire and he makes all the guides from scratch. Here's the other half of it. And you can see he tapers the guides down smaller as you go towards the tip. Just beautiful work. But I'm going to put this up real quick so I don't break it or something. If you guys haven't fished bamboo, it is a really fun material to fish. But one of the things about it is when you come back from fishing, you've got to dry it out. If you put it in a rod tube where it's wet, because I mean, it's not going to absorb water, but you're just going to have water on it. And if you put it in a tube wet like that, it will mold and mildew. Whoops, dropped it. And it'll just ruin it. So you have to dry a bamboo before you put it up. Hi, Letty. Addicts. Welcome in, guys. All right, so back to the hopper. I've got my hook in the vise here, and this is rusty brown thread. If I can get it up to the camera without blowing it out. It's one of my favorite color threads. I'm about out of it. The spool's pretty much empty, but I think I got enough for a couple flies. So I'm going to take some of my Gorilla Glue, Jody. Oh, now the rod fell over more. But this is what I use. It's a squeeze bottle. Super glue gel Gorilla. Did I grab the wrong bottle? I think I did. I just opened a new one. Maybe I did grab the wrong one. No, that's definitely the new one. Why is it not coming out? All right, well, let me try the other one. Oh, goodness. bought that other super glue quite a while ago. This one's just about empty. I'm getting a little bit out. All right, so I'm just going to give that a couple minutes to set up. Yeah, and I'm thinking that's what's happening to, like I say, I just opened that other bottle, but I bought that other bottle probably a year and a half ago, and it's been in a drawer behind me, and I think it's went bad just sitting back there. I mean, I used a little bit out of it earlier, so it's not plugged up. It's a brand new bottle, but it looks really weird on the inside. So I'm thinking it probably went bad, even though I just opened it. I mean, yeah, the hole's wide open. It's not plugged up. I think it just, I don't know. It's not really moving a whole lot inside. I think it probably went bad just sitting in that drawer. Okay, that's set up pretty well. So I'm going to color the bottom of this yellow. A lot of the hoppers around here are yellow on the bottom, or kind of a faded green. When you're using Sharpies with super glue, you want to be careful and not touch the glue because it'll turn a really nasty orange looking color. I'm just going to rub this a little bit with a paper towel because there's going to be a certain amount of that soaks in. The rest of it's just kind of lay on top. I'm going to try to put some little eyes on this. I like eyes on it, but a lot of times, no, I used balsa for these. I didn't use cork like the original pattern because I have more balsa and it's easier to get. But balsa, the Sharpie will want to run around. So I'm going to try to make nice clean eyes, but these are probably going to be kind of ugly. It's actually not bad. Yeah, those didn't turn out too bad. The top of this, I'm going to use, it's a bronze colored Sharpie, and I'm mostly just going to color the back of it. The originals of these, I'm almost positive were hand painted, but I don't know. Again, the pattern says not, or the patent says nothing about what they used, but all right. So I'm just making a brown and yellow, which is what works really well here. So I've got that colored up, and I'm going to take my thread here and I'm going to rib forward to about right behind the head, and then that's where the legs and the wings will be tied in. Like if you noticed on this one, it's mostly just ribbed up to one spot, and then that's where everything is tied in at. Yeah, let me look at the comments. Yeah, I could do that picker, but I'll probably just pitch it in the trash probably. I don't know if I can get further back on that or not. It's probably about as far as I can go. All right. So that looks about right for where everything's tied in. Now what I found works best for the legs is one of the, see if I can back up with it, that's your starling wing, and one of these leading edge feathers, because that's got the longest rachis. Leading edge feathers. I think I said leading edge wing. My bad. I don't think I have too many more left. Yeah, I think that'll be long enough. All right, so there's one. I'm going to go to the other wing. I usually pick these in pairs just because it makes it easier. And actually, there is none on the other wing. All right. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the wing. All right, here we go. I was looking at the tail for a second. I'm glad you're here, Jody. All right. So to make the legs, I'm going to take the feather here, and I'm just going to go down it with a pair of scissors and just trim all of the fibers off. And I'm actually going to leave a little bit down here close. I'm looking behind the body. I'm going to leave a little bit down here close. I'm not going to cut it right against the stem. And if you've ever seen a hopper, they've got kind of little hairs on their legs. I don't know the technical term for it, but so I'm going to leave just a little bit down here. And then as I get past that a little bit, I'm going to go right to the stem. Unfortunately, there's probably no way I'll be able to hold it in front of the camera for you to see and do this. All right. So there's one. I'm going to try to tidy that end up. You can't get too picky with it or you won't have a feather left. And we'll do the other one now. If I'm not mistaken, the guy, oh shoot, I forgot his first name. I think it was Winston, maybe. I'm not sure if that's right or not. But the guy who invented this fly, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, was a doctor. And a lot of the old fly tyers were doctors. I guess fly fishing was a big hobby for doctors back in the day. Rich man's sport, I guess. All right. So here's my other one. So I'm going to lay those to the side. And first, before I put those in, I've got to tie in the feathers that are the wings. And these are wing feathers also, but closer to the back edge of the wing. Not that it matters, but again, I usually pull a match set. So here's one. And you're going to trim off all of the fibers on the top edge. And then when you do that, you end up with this shape here, which kind of looks, you know, like a hopper wing. Just got that rounded edge and end to it. I'll do the side facing away from you first. Maybe you'll be able to see it better. So I'm going to tie this kind of on top and leave it sticking out past the body a little bit, just like a hopper would. And both of those wanted to roll out, which I don't like. And that actually happens a lot. I haven't really found a way to overcome that yet. Maybe I'll try cutting the feather first. See if that does better. Yeah, that looks a little better. Yeah, I'd say they did toss some proper knots if they were doctors. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. They're not straight on the top, but most of the examples that I've actually found of this fly, they weren't really on top. There is kind of a gap like that down the middle. Although it looks a little better like that. All right, so now for the legs. And I got to find my forceps here somewhere. All my stuff is still packed up from when I went to Thornwood. This might work here. Just a hackle holder. So you want to start with the front of this, like you're going to tie in the antenna first, because if you start making the leg first, by the time you get all the way around, your antenna might be sticking out way too far, and that also puts you up into the thicker part of the feather. So you want to start with the antenna first. All right, so I'm going to hold this here about the length that I want my antenna. And then I'm going to grab it with my hackle pliers. And I'm going to bend this rachis. So I'm putting a kink in it, like that right there. Then I'm going to come up just a little bit higher, which will be the back part of the leg, and kink it again. So I've got 2 kinks in that now. And then it's going to be crossed like that to form the hopper leg and the antenna. All right, so I'm going to stick the antenna out. I'm going to put one wrap over that. And then I'll form the hopper leg. And I'm going to put a couple of wraps over top of that to lock it down. And then it's going to look like that right there. And why does that look so big on the screen? There we go. Good, Picker. I'm glad you're liking it. So once I've got that leg locked down, I'll come in and clip off the rest of the stem like that. And you leave it sticking down a little bit, and that's supposed to kind of look like a front leg. But then there is your hopper leg. All right, so now I'm going to do the same for the other side. And you want matched pairs of feathers, like I was saying. That way you can see this has a natural curve to it. So when I make this, the antenna is naturally going to curve up, and then the whole wing just kind of has a natural shape to it. If you use 2 that are exactly the same, they're not going to look exactly the same on each side. All right, I'm going to have to turn this up so I can see it. If I can get my... Well, I sure wish I knew where my forceps were. All right, so same thing. I'm pinching it there, and I'm just pushing it around and putting a kink in it. And if you really want these to match exactly, you can, lay one down on top of the other. That way you get them exactly the same size. somewhere in the middle of all that, that wing feather that looked really nice shifted and turned on me. And now it looks like poop back in there, but hopefully the fish don't inspect it that well. All right, so I'm going to put a couple of pretty tight wraps on that to bond all that down so it can't move. I'll cut that one off. And then this just needs whip finished, and this is done. Man, I wish that wing hadn't turned. I don't know if I can turn it back without destroying it or not. Not really. Oh well. All right, so I'll whip finish this, and this fly will be done if I can find my whip finisher. That's weird. Oh, here it is. All right, so there's my Palmer hopper. Thanks, Monster. Thanks, Super. Man, it would have looked really good if that wing wouldn't have turned. I'm going to try to turn that back again, but I'll probably end up breaking it off. Well, that helped a little. It's all unmarried now, but I mean, one fish is going to tear it up anyway, so. All right, that fixed it a little. Okay, so there's a Palmer hopper. So I'll set this one aside, and I'm going to try to tie a smaller version. This is fairly big, but I mean, it's no bigger than the grasshoppers we have around here. And I throw chubby Chernobyls all the time, and the fish eat those just fine, and that's a massive fly. So hopefully they'll eat this. But I'm going to try to catch some on it here coming up soon. Now, the other body I made is smaller. And I'm not sure how this is going to work out because I haven't tried to tie one of these Palmer hoppers this small. Yeah, Super, I'm going to fish it. I've got a creek. It's a pretty good drive a ways. I mean, it's like a 3-hour drive. But it's got a lot of wild rainbows in it. And I'm going to take one of my bamboos and try to video catching some trout on that. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see. The water's getting really hot here, especially after last week. Last week, I was outside working on that deck roof, and the heat index was like 105, 107, 109. So it's getting really hot here. So I'm not sure what that's going to do to the streams. I hope I don't drive all the way there stick a thermometer in the stream and then decide that it's too hot to fish, because I don't want to kill any fish just to catch a fish on these flies. Hey, wee man. Thanks for dropping in. It's funny you talk about mice. My buddy was just messaging me the other day saying that we need to go fish for some brown trout after dark with mice. So we've both been looking at mice patterns to tie up. And this is I'm trying to make a smaller Palmer hopper. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I figured if I throw the big one and I beat the water to death with it and don't get any strikes, maybe I can throw this smaller one and catch something. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, because I tried to make some smaller versions of some other flies, like a, darn it, Buma balsa bug, Jack Buma balsa bug. I tried to make some smaller versions of those, and they looked fine, but they wouldn't float, because once you reduce them down so far, you've got more hook than you do balsa. So they just did not float as well. Yeah, mine does that sometimes, Super. All right, so here is the smaller body that I made. I'm just going to set that on there for a moment. But then here's the one that we just tied, if I can hold on to it. So there's the one we just tied. So it's, I mean, I don't know, 30% smaller. So we'll see how that comes out. If I can get some super glue out. My super glue seems to have all went bad on me. Come on, I just need a drop. Which this one didn't go bad. This one's just empty. Hopefully that's not too loud in you guys' ears. Ugh, come on. Yeah, I guess that one there is totally empty. I got the last drop out of it on the last one. So I'll try this new one. Hopefully I can get something to come out of it. Oh, there we go. Now the new one's working. I guess I just needed to shake it down real well. All right, give that just a minute to set up. Wow, that's a monster wee. 22 pounds. Yeah, I'd love to catch one that size. I think the biggest I've ever caught was 9 1/4 or 9 1/2, which I mean that's still a pretty good sized fish, especially for around here. But I can't imagine 122. I know, I think it's, is it Australia or maybe New Zealand that they catch the giant browns? Like, I mean, they're just massive. They say they're in this river, like where they make dog food or something like that, or people feed them dog food or something. I don't remember, but something had to do with dog food. But they just get huge, and people were catching like 40-pound browns. I'm making this one just like the last one, yellow belly and kind of a brown back. Yeah, I think it's New Zealand picker, but they were massive. Just, I mean, unreal. And they don't even look like trout hardly. They're so fat. They look like little pigs with wings. All right, we cool, man. I'll look them up. All right, so I'm throwing this old one away because I got the last drop out of that. All right, so I'm gonna color the back and put the eyeballs on it. I'm gonna try some smaller feathers since this is a pretty small hopper here. See if they turn out any better. Oh man, looks like all the good ones are gone. It's a good thing starlings are a nuisance around here. Man, that one's just not as pretty as the other side. Hey, Max, welcome in. Yes, I am tying Palmer hoppers, which is a 1917 pattern. Here's the last one that we tied a few minutes ago. But the patent was applied for this fly in 1917. So it's actually older than that. But it's a piece of balsa. And then you've got wings tied in. And then it uses the rachis of a feather that you bend to make the antenna and the leg all at once. It's a really old fly pattern. You know, I mostly tie vintage stuff on my channel here, and I fish mostly vintage rods, old bamboos, and stuff like that. Vintage airplanes. Haven't messed with vintage airplanes much. I do love airplanes though. I love World War II stuff. I like anything old. I'd show you some pretty cool World War II stuff, but I'm not sure YouTube would let me. Pretty sure they wouldn't. They'd probably stop the stream. All right. I'll try these two feathers. They're not perfect, but we'll see how they do. I think I'm going to have to get another bird. That cape's about gone. Max, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And again, you know, it's 1917 is when the patent was, so that's uh, I mean, that's over 100 years old. That's man, my brain is fried. I've been doing too much. Oh, at 109 years old, if I did that math right real quick. Man, I'm not liking the end of this feather either, but you know, the thing with feathers is once the fish gets a hold of it, it's going to be ruined in 3 minutes, anyways. Yeah, I'm not crazy with how this one looks, but let's see what it does. Okay, so there's one side. But let's get this thread up here where we want it. That should be set up pretty good now. Yeah, that feather there is kind of raggedy looking, but I couldn't really find a good one that size. But to make the hopper wings, you're just taking a feather and just cutting all of the fibers off of one side. And we'll lay that up here. Gonna match up those tips the best I can. And then I'll cut this stem off. I'm gonna pull off just a couple of those, so just leaves a little bit of the rachis. All right, so there's those wings tied in. It doesn't look too bad. That one feather, like I say, it's pretty raggedy. This one turned out pretty good though. All right, now I got to get some for the legs. And for the legs, you're going to take your feather and you just want to leave the rachis. So down here close, I'm going to cut out a little bit from the feather, like right there, because on a hopper, well, that's not a good example. But on a hopper, on the legs, they've got little hairs that are down close. So I'm going to cut this and leave just a little bit of stuff. And then taper it right down to the stem. Or to the rachis. So there's one side. And see, I left these just a little bit there. And then when those get flared out a little, they're going to look like individual hairs on a hopper's leg. So now I'll do the other side. Thank you, Super. You're too kind. Scissors. I am using several different pairs here. And I've actually got a couple more pairs that I haven't unboxed from when I went to Thornwood. But this is actually just the first pair that I pulled out, which I believe is just a cheap Dr. Slick pair. And now I do go through and sharpen all of my scissors. If I've got a brand spanking new pair right out of the package, I mean, they might be okay, but I don't have any super duper expensive scissors. And if I get a pair of Dr. Slick or something, they're usually not sharp enough for me out of the package. So I take a diamond stone and sharpen them. This pair here, it says Kazik on it, which I don't have any idea what that means. I didn't buy this pair of scissors. They actually put me in mind of Fiskars, the way they're made and the way they feel. But these were in with a box of old Flyton stuff that I got from after a man passed away. His wife sold it. So I don't actually know what brand these are. These were actually extremely dull when I first got them. But again, I liked the feel of them because, like I say, they feel like Fiskars, probably made very similar. But I just sharpened these up really well, and they actually do awesome after I sharpened them up. I really like them. But that's what I'm trimming all of these fibers and stuff off with. So to make this leg, since Max is new here, I don't think he saw the last one. I think I clicked the wrong thing on that. There you go. All right, so to make this antenna, or, well, the whole leg and antenna, I'm going to hold this up here, get the antenna about the length that I want it. And then I'm going to clip my hackle plier on here where I want the bend to be. And I'm just going to give this a little crimp right there. Then I'm going to move up a little bit, depending on how big I want this leg to be, and crimp it again. And now, when you cross those, you're going to have the leg and the antenna sticking out, which I got. This one's going to be kind of short. There ain't going to be a whole lot of room on this one. I'm actually going to have to take this fluff off, which usually that's just cut off at the end. I'm going to need all that room on this one. This feather is pretty short. All right. So I'm going to start tying this in with the antenna. So I'm going to put the antenna up there where I want it. Put a couple of good tight wraps over that. And then I'll bend that leg the way I want it and position it. And then put a couple of tight wraps over top of that to tie that down. So then there is the hopper leg. And I'll cut this big stem off. Now you're supposed to leave this sticking down, and that's the front leg. Although I really kind of ran out of feather on that one. That's not brown like it should be, but it'll be okay. All right, so I still got to prep my other feather, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm sorry if you guys are asking me questions while I'm doing this. I can't really look at this feather and the screen at the same time. Try to throw some of this in the trash instead of the floor, since I have this everywhere now. All right, so now I got this feather prepped. Again, there's the antenna. Comes back here, and I left just a little bit of longer fibers, kind of like the thicker part of the hopper leg. Yeah, sure, I can do that. I've got a lot of stuff planned. I've just been so busy lately, I haven't been able to do it. But one video that I was going to do was dyeing feathers. I've got a bunch of turkey feathers that I was going to dye. It's actually from, I'm a hunter also, and I'm big on, well, I'm just a really nostalgic person, I guess. But my uncle was killed in Vietnam, and I have some of his turkey calls and stuff. So I took his turkey calls and went out and killed a turkey this spring, which coincidentally is the same day I got bit and got Lyme disease. But I'm going to dye some of the feathers from that turkey and go try to catch some trout on them. But I was going to do a video on that because I haven't really seen any videos on dyeing feathers. All right, well, seems like the more I mess with this, the more I'm messing it up. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I probably should be doing this on all of them, but I haven't been. But I'm going to take a little bit of super glue because that stuff there was kind of wanting to float around on me a little. See if I can't lock these legs in position a little better. Oh, that was a bad idea because I got it on that yellow. I didn't put any sealer over that Sharpie. So when I did that, I got it on that yellow and it turned orange, like I was saying. All right, good enough. So now I'll whip finish this, and this fly will be done. And these aren't perfect ties. I'm not tying these to go in a display cabinet. I'm going to fish these, so I'm not near as picky on my flies that are getting fished. All right, so there's this smaller version that I tied. It's not perfect. That wing feather there, I wasn't crazy about it from the beginning, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Insects in nature aren't perfect either. You can see where I got that super glue on that marker turned orange. But you can see the segmentation on the bottom and the yellow. You can see the eyes and the antenna and the legs. And I think that's the most important part, is those parts right there. Now I got feather everywhere. Okay, so there's the two we tied. There's the small one in the vise. And then here is the little bigger one. But hopefully I can catch some trout on these coming up. Thank you, Muddy. The orange adds to it. How you doing, adventures? What is that? Ronyo's Adventures. Did I say that right? Hey, Rooster. I didn't see you come in, buddy. You snuck in. Thank you, Monster. Well, that's the only two I was going to tie. It's already almost 11 o'clock. And they're pretty long ties just because of all the feather prep and the balsa prep and stuff. But I just needed a couple to put in my fly box because I want to try to really catch some fish on these. Catching fish on the bunion bugs, I loved that. That was so much fun. I haven't been out and thrown them any at all yet. Well, that's not true. I did throw them one day on that wild trout stream a while back, but I only threw it in one hole. And I had a trout that came up and it looked at it several times and it swiped at it a couple times. I was actually trying the red-legged hopper bunion bug. And it came up and rolled on it, swiped at it a few times and stuff, but it never did actually take the fly. So I never did hook it. But that's the only time I've thrown the bunion bugs this year. So I haven't got them out any. But you know, I like using new stuff. So I really want to catch some fish on these hoppers. These hoppers actually predate the bunion bug, so I think that would just be awesome. What's going on, Rooster? Giving some of you guys some blue here. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, I did. I missed Picker. All right, I think I got all you guys. What you struggling with, Rooster? You're welcome, Muddy. I don't get on and tie live a whole lot, not as much as I would like to. I've had a lot going on. You're pretty new. I don't think you know too much about me, but um, I got Lyme disease uh, about a month ago, and that really took a toll. I haven't been out fishing much. I haven't been editing videos. I haven't been tying live. It took so much sap out of me that I would literally go to work, come home from work, and just go to bed. And I finally got over the Lyme disease, or well, you don't really get over it, but it goes into remission. And I finally got that to go into remission and stuff. But now I've been building a deck on my house and stuff. So that's kind of taking up a lot of the free time. But I'm almost done with that, and I'm hoping to get back out and get some more fishing done and get some more videos up and stuff. But if you're new to my channel, I don't know if you're a subscriber or not, but I mostly fish vintage stuff. I fish a lot of old, like South Bend bamboos, Horrocks Ibbotson, Montauk. There's a couple other old bamboos that I have, and I've also got some new bamboos. I just showed the guys this. I'll pull it back out though. This is a brand new bamboo to me, and bamboo is mostly what I fish. I have graphite rods and I have fiberglass rods, and I do fish some vintage glass rods occasionally. But this is a new bamboo that I just had built. A friend of mine builds these, and it is gorgeous. I love this thing. I caught a bunch of trout on this rod a couple weeks ago. Caught one really nice rainbow, about 17 inches. But here's the reel seat. That's rosewood, so it's got kind of a red or pinkish striping to it. And there's the grip. It's upside down, so I'll turn it over. But there is the information. It's a 7'4", 5" weight. And Lee Orr is my buddy that makes these. But let's see if I can get up here where it'll actually focus on it. But there's the color of the wraps. This is a nodeless blonde blank, so there's no bamboo nodes in it. There's the wraps on it. Beautiful rod. He does amazing work. But this rod is so nice. I love this thing. Where it's 7 foot, and that's why I bought it from him and had it made, was I wanted something a little shorter. Most of my vintage bamboos are either 8'6" or 9 foot. And a 9 foot bamboo to fish all day on the river, it's a lot. Because they're heavy. They're probably at least a third heavy as a normal graphite rod or something. So fishing that extra weight all day, it is taxing. But so I wanted something shorter, and I had him build that rod for me. I've also got another modern bamboo around here. It might be behind me. This is another modern bamboo that another friend made for me. And it's in brook trout colors. If you can see, the rod tube is painted like a brook trout. Thank you, Wee. And yeah, freaking ticks are nasty, man. Well, awesome, Picker. You'll probably like my channel then, because that's all it is vintage stuff. Here, this is some old vintage silk line that I fish with. It's Flybo. What is that? It's got the price tag on it. I think it says $2.99. and then it was marked down to $1.99, and then was marked down from that to like $1 and something. But that's old original silk line from, I don't even know what the year is on it, but I actually fish with that. All right, so here is the brook trout bamboo, but I'm in West Virginia. Let me look at this so I can see which way is up. But I'm in West Virginia, and we have a lot of coal mines here. So this is coal mine script that he put in the butt of it. And this is Osage orange from my friend's property. And there's the grip. And then it's all in brook trout colors. So here you got the orange and the black and the white, like on the fins. Which way is this up? Okay, so you're looking at it the right way. And this is the scientific name for brook trout. I cannot read this backwards. But it says, it's got the scientific name, and then 6 foot 4 weight. And Phil Smith is my friend that made it. But he doesn't make bamboos anymore. He quit. And this is actually number 11 of the rods that he made. So this was really early on. And there's some nice little wraps from it. He's got a nice orange agate eye on it. I've caught a lot of fish on this rod. And it's only a 6 foot 4 weight, but you'd be surprised. I've caught trout up to about 18 inches on it. Now, it gives it a workout, but it handles them. It's got a 4 weight backbone, so, I mean, it does okay. My chat didn't scroll. Thank you, Wee, and thank you, Picker. I'm from the eastern United States, Ranyo. Thank you, Super. Yeah, my buddy, he hand painted this tube, and I liked it so much, I paint a lot of other tubes, because I build rods too for people occasionally, not a whole lot, just every once in a while. Mostly for friends. If I've got a friend that wants a rod, I'll build one for him. Hey, Craig. Good to see you, buddy. Man, you are up late. Dude, it's got to be 3 o'clock in the morning over there, isn't it? Oh, Picker, Osage, it'll last forever, dude. The house will fall down before that fence does. Thank you, Muddy. Yeah, that's pretty much all I fish. If you saw Super in his last live, he was, saying a lot of nice stuff about me, and I appreciate that. Super is an awesome dude. But he was talking about we both like a river runs through it. So I'll show this rod since he brought it up. But this is a Granger rod, which is the bamboos that they used in the movie A River Runs Through It. And I fish this rod a lot. This is one of my favorite rods too. You can see which way is that written. It's written this way, but it's just about worn off. Right there, you can see it's a Granger Special. And this is a Hardy clone reel. It's not a real Hardy, it's a clone. Made by Wright and McGill also. And I fish this rod a lot. It's one of my favorites. It's an 8'6", but he was talking about a river runs through it, and this is one of the rods that they used in the filming of it. Not one of the exact ones, but it's a model that they used. And I tied up a bunch of bunion bugs and took it out and used, this rod from the movie, which I actually used it with a Fluger reel, which is probably behind me somewhere. But Flugers is what they used in the movie a lot, and some Hardy reels. But I took it out and used some bunion bugs and basically just kind of recreated some of the scenes from it. And that was a lot of fun for me. 4 a.m. Holy cow. Oh, you're up early to go fishing. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah. Oh, I love that movie. That's the movie that got me into fly fishing. I saw that movie and I don't know. I had to have a fly rod. Had to try it. And I love it. It stuck. I still love going. Oh, Picker, it was awesome, dude. And oh man, I wish I had it on film too. The very first one that I caught on the bunion bug, I threw it up there and it was making a nice slow drift down through. And you could see this trout come up like in slow motion. Of course, it only took a couple seconds, but it seemed like it took it 5 minutes to get to the surface. And you would think a big bunion bug that the fish would just smash it, like, big splash and whatever. It came up so slow and it just sucked it off the water without even making a ripple. And I set the hook and caught it. But that was, oh man, that was so fun. Take care, Ron. Yo. Come back again if you like the vintage stuff, man. That's pretty much all I do on my channel. Yeah, good luck, Craig. Are you going with Maddie or are you going by yourself or somebody else? I'll show another bamboo real quick. This one here is the first bamboo that I ever got. And it's a Horrocks Ibbotson from the 1920s. And which the reel is newer. The reel is like 1950s. But this rod, it was in an old camp that a friend of my mom's owned. And the camp flooded. Her dad passed away. Her dad actually owned the camp. And it was passed down to my mom's friend. But the camp got flooded and everything in it got ruined. And this rod was laying in a corner. And I brought this rod home and fixed it up. And I still fish it. It's a great rod. But it's getting late here, guys. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call tonight. Alone. Well, good luck, Craig. I hope you catch a pile of them, man. I've got to get up early for work tomorrow myself, so I got to get in bed. Oh, yeah, Picker. I love the old stuff, man. I've got a pile of it. Hopefully I can get some more fishing and some more video and done and stuff like that and get it out. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. So, but I'm going to call tonight here. I got to get in bed. I appreciate all of you guys coming. Yeah, super, man. I enjoy your lives, man. You tie some crazy, just your flies look so realistic, man. It's awesome. But I love watching your lives. So yeah, thanks for popping in, Craig. I never expected to see you in one of my lives. I guess it's just fortunate that you got up to go fishing, so that's pretty awesome. But thanks for coming, everybody, and I'll try to do some more lives. I want to, I just got to get some stuff caught up around here, and as soon as I get some stuff caught up too, I got several videos started that I haven't finished. They just need like one or two scenes filmed, and then I can wrap them all up and put them together. And so hopefully I can get those done and get those up here real soon, and get out and get some more fishing done. And hopefully I can get some more lives going and stuff. But I appreciate all you guys coming, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. You guys take care and have a good night. I'll see you later.